Jewel back again, another super cool astrology video, and we're talking about the composite sun in the 11th house and what is going on when we have this between two people in a composite chart. So the composite chart is the chart of the midpoints between two people's or more, two people's planets and points. So you take two astrology charts, you find the midpoints between everything, and it creates a new chart, the composite chart. And the composite chart tells you a lot more than just putting the two charts together and comparing the synastry. Synastry is one thing, tells you quite a bit. Composite chart, you read it a little bit different, tells you a lot more. So the composite chart shows, you know, it's like the birth chart of the relationship. So it tells you the bigger picture. Because two people, when they come together, they have their two separate personalities. They're two separate sets of ingredients. And when we form a relationship, we put those two ingredients together, and the composite chart shows you what you get, what bakes up in the long run. So the sun in the composite chart is where two people's egos meet, where two people's energies meet, where the two really focus their drive and their goal energy. So it's where a lot of the action is in the composite chart. And the 11th house is the house of friendship, larger groups of people, our hopes and our wishes, liquid incoming gains, such things, social systems. And so when we have two people's sun meeting in the 11th house, we see typically a great friendship when we have this. This is my favorite place to see the composite sun in a chart. It goes a long way towards keeping people together that otherwise would not be able to be together. Very happy, pleasant, long-term relationships are formed when we have the composite sun or moon, or both, in the 11th house. So when two people have their sun here, it is very much about tolerance. What really irritates people in most relationships does not irritate people when we have the composite sun in the 11th, because they are very not just tolerant of each other, but very understanding. And each other's weirdnesses and foibles and annoyances, they're kind of seen as this, you know, funny quirks. It's just difficult to get on each other's nerves when you have a composite sun in the 11th house. So they really float along together really well. They focus on friends a lot. It's one of those composite places where there is more social interaction. They attract people to them as a couple. They attract relating. They attract friends. So it's a more extroverted place to have a composite sun rather than, you know, like a composite sun in the 2nd or the 4th or something. It's a very more public place to have it, but at the same time it provides enough structure to be able to relate to each other on a personal level as well. So it's very much about getting along and about like. And it goes a long way towards keeping two people together that have other linkages between them that are not so great. Now, this position does not provide sexual interest. You have to look at and have other components in the synastry in order to have that going on. Because this is more of a platonic place to have the sun. And even in a platonic relationship, having the composite sun in the 11th really makes it a special and deep kind of friendship. So in all instances, having a composite sun in the 11th, you cannot go wrong. Especially between parent and child, this creates a real easy flow of energy between two people. So it's really the only downfall to having the composite sun here is that it makes things almost too easy. Humans like to invent their drama. They like to bring their psychology into their relationships and try to work that out with each other. And that's why we're, largely attracted to each other. It's very much based on what we feel we're missing or what we feel like we're not complete in. So we tend to attract that from other people. So we don't really have that feeling that we're missing anything, or that we need to start anything, or that there's just not a lot of potential for conflict or drama with the composite sun in the 11th house. So if someone is looking for that, they're really not going to find that with their sun in this position. So some people can let go of a composite sun in the 11th house relationship because it's just simply not offering enough friction or enough, enough drama or enough difficulty to stay interesting. So it's one that is really wonderful for almost any relationship, and I recommend that if you've got a sun in the composite 11th, you really need to explore that relationship because it could be one of the best of your lives. But there are some people that find it is a place that doesn't offer enough in the way of difficulty, and they will flush a relationship with the composite sun in the 11th because it just simply isn't dramatic enough. So, great place to have the sun in any relationship. Highly recommend it if you can find it. Hope you enjoyed this. I will be back with more super cool videos. You can find me on the internet at Truth in Aspect Astrology. Yes, I do private consultation all the time. I am a relationship and intimacy astrologer. I also specialize in planetoids and asteroids. And if you want to know what's going on in your relationship or your potential relationship, I am the one to ask. You can find me on Facebook at Truth in Aspect Astrology, and I will be back soon. Bye-bye.